On El Paseo Street in Palm Desert, a zoo, a gallery, and an artist came together to raise money for endangered animals. My name is David Derrick, and I had the good fortune of sculpting Sundance, a beautiful red-tailed hawk, live at the zoo and later at the gallery. Once the sculpture was completed, my piece would begin another journey, called the Lost Wax Method. It is an ancient method used by the Greeks, Romans, and artists of the Renaissance, and has changed little over time.
First stage of the process is the mold making part. What we do in here is we apply silicone rubber to the piece. This is about $11, $12 a pound silicone, but when it's brushed on that piece, it'll pick up a fingerprint that's there on the clay.
After we apply the rubber all over the clay and we add these parting lines to it, that's where we'll actually cut the rubber apart to expose the clay and then peel it off. We have to apply what's called a mother mold, because rubber won't keep its shape and it won't have anything inside it anymore to help it keep its shape. And we use plaster with hemp in it for strength and rigidity to make our mother mold. Right now we're just removing the plaster off of the piece, and just use a crowbar and a hammer and strategically pry them off. The plaster is pretty cured now after just under 24 hours, so it's pretty hard. It actually sticks to itself really well. It's similar to your bathroom caulking silicone. There's the inside of it. Conforms, and these little buttons will sink back into these holes. We actually use what's called a groove knife. It's got an actual bend in it and leaves a groove. That allows the rubber to fit back up with itself perfectly, giving it a key. You can also give it an additional key by wiggling the knife as it cuts. So you're actually giving it a key not only left and right, but up and down along every axis on the plane. So this mold should fit back together really well by the time we're done. One wing. Those are fingerprints from the artist in there.
After the mold making process, the molds are bolted together and filled with liquid wax. When the wax cools, the separate pieces of the hawk are prepped in the wax chase room. Here any bubbles or imperfections are corrected, and tubes called sprues are attached, along with a bowl-shaped funnel. The next step is slurry, where the wax sculpture is coated in several slurries to create a ceramic shell. The process is repeated to build up a ceramic carapace. With volcanic heat, metal is melted in the heart of the foundry. Workers wearing heavy protective suits bring out all of the slurried sculptures and lie them down, funnels pointing upward. With careful coordination, molten metal is poured into the ceramic molds. The wax positives, having melted away in the heat, are replaced with liquid bronze that glows through the ceramic casing. After the metal has cooled, the ceramic shell is removed unceremoniously with a hammer. The emerging sculpture is prepped in metal chasing, where sprues and funnels are removed, limbs and wings are reattached, and workers fastidiously compare the metal sculpture to the images of the clay original. The unfinished metal is treated and colored with chemicals and fire until the desired patina is achieved, and sealed in a thin protective coat of wax. Using the mother mold, the lost wax method is repeated to create multiples of the same sculpture. The lost wax method is a tedious, time-proven method which metamorphoses clay to wax and finally into a bronze sculpture.